You. Dan, are you gonna... I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, oh, it kind of does matter because of the icons. Moving them back to racers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are good to go for this second match of this final best of 3 in the first round of the 2024 Kakariko Classic. So Seceon going to get sword, Baker going to get stick. So Baker is going to take an initial lead here in terms of escaping the forest, because it is quicker to just get that stick. But Seceon is making a conscious choice to get the sword here. The swordless route for the rule set of this tournament provides a lot of challenges. And you know, going with sword and shield is definitely a safer bet, and is a little bit slower than the swordless option, but is less prone to potential big mistakes that could lose a lot of time.
You know, there's a lot of minor things that you have to do in this route, in this category, that you don't really think of. Like, it just like I've mentioned this a million times already, but like watching people do it, making it look easy versus actually trying it yourself is a whole different story. I mean, like even like how Baker dodges the Octorok while falling or like while swimming down the river here. I mean, that is not something that is just like you just swim past him. Like you actually have to swim a little wide to manipulate the Octorok spawn so that it targets you in a very specific spot, and then you just swim past that spot. So every little bit of this run is calculated. I mean, that's kind of what's awesome about speedrunning. I mean, some people might say, like, you know, here and there runners make mistakes. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. But a lot of the stuff that people do is calculated. I mean, in competitive gaming, regardless of what it is, I mean, it really just, like, you sometimes overlook slight optimizations in you know, you try to use them as like a, hey, that was like a really fortunate thing that occurred. But I mean, a lot of the time, like, yes, there's some fortunate occurrences, but it's just how you use those things and adapt to them. And also being able to tell the difference between, like, actual, like, 5-head manipulation versus just, like, pure luck. And, I mean, you know, where the Cucko spawn in this route can be a little bit of luck, but it's also about how you adapt to that and how you optimize your movement to really make, you know, a split segment like this very fast. And I mean, this, you know, like I've said already, but I've talked about Cuckos a lot over the course of this tournament, but I mean, Cuckos is really an awkward segment because there's nothing really like this in the game anywhere else. Like, it's a really interesting segment. I don't know. I love it and I hate it personally. Like, I love watching it, but I also hate playing it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what most people could relate to, because this is an awesome segment to watch when people are going like really fast and have an optimal route going and all those cuckos clumped up in one spot. But man, playing it yourself is a whole other story.
Absolutely. So we have Baker getting these last 3 cuckos, and Seceon about to sort of start that process. Again, getting that sword and shield. What? Was it Baker?
There was a Cucko that was right behind Anju, like right behind her, and Baker managed to grab it without even targeting it. So I mean, that's just That is so awkward, but that's awesome to see that you just grabbed it without, without talking to Andrew at all. Dude, Lost tutorials actually kind of sounds hilarious. You know how Lost talks, like, yeah, so like you just like grab this Kako.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I guess you can just throw it here.
Dude, I had the privilege of doing a mindless streamer with Lazoots, and if you just watch the first like 10 seconds of that video on YouTube, it's so funny. Cause he goes, "Hey man, what you been up to?" And I don't say anything, like I sort of like am spaced out. He goes, "Hey man, what you been up to?" And it takes like 10 seconds, and I'm like, "Who, me?" And he's like, "No, the fucking other," or oh my god. I'm so sorry. He's like, "No, the other, the other person." All right, well, I guess I'm done organizing tournaments, you know.
Yeah. You gotta watch the profanity, Mr. Thunder.
Yeah, I'm fired. We lost the Discord stream for a second. Was that just me? Was that a joke?
That was you.
That was a joke. That was funny. All right.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
lost the Discord stream because you were fired.
That's true, Cisco. It's not my fault. Rolling right on along here. Baker entering the Deku Tree. Seceon exiting the shop. I can already see the message I'm gonna get from Xwell. But yeah, Baker gonna go for the B1, the ISG B1. What is? I have to see what this is now.
I think I know what it is.
I can't not. Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Well, we now have added things to the list that we can't say, including anything that sounds like Owen Wilson. I'm not reading that. Super fired now. Seceon grabbing the first nut. I'm curious why Seceon goes all the way up to the top still. Because Seceon, so far, it seems like they're using some relatively good strats. I wonder if they just haven't learned it yet, or just a comfort thing. I think it's probably just a comfort thing. Playing to your strengths, like I was talking to earlier, is a really good asset to have. Ooh.
That's really close for Seceon.
A little scary. We have a face cam from Seceon, but what if we got like a picture of Baker from one of Baker's streams years ago when Baker unloaded the Deku Scrub? That would be kind of funny. Like his face reaction. He's like, "What?"
There's a lot of things we can do. I mean, we had Kirby Cam when I was running.
Kirby Cam.
Couple tournaments ago. Yeah. Alright, Baker has successfully done Goma Clip and is now moving on to the wrong warp. Seceon a little bit behind Baker here. just talking to the final scrub now and going on to do Goma.
Baker doing the safety pause. Or save, I mean. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess, you know, something to talk about since we're just about to see Seceon doing Goma Clip. I will bring it up after, but we've got some interesting stuff to note about the localizations of these games. I mean, one thing to note as well, just in terms of neat and unique things about this game, is that you actually do save 0.4 seconds if you play in the Japanese localization of the console. So if your console is in Japanese, and whenever you save on VC, it says you must use the classic controller, or you will need to use the classic controller. If that text shows up in the FNF% that we're all used to, that is actually slower than the actual Japanese characters that pop up for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why it is, but for some reason it's actually faster if you play with the Japanese localization. And it looks like Seceon getting a good Goma clip this time around. We love to see that.
Session's played very, very well in both of these matches. Just with that issue with wrong warp in the beginning, didn't really give him a chance at all in that race. So,
Ooh, the 8% chance for Insta. Oh, we could see maybe.
He got
Baker
stuck
has
in
to do some angle
the
changing.
railing. Is this 8%? He didn't target Zelda?
He didn't target Zelda, yeah, so he has a slight chance here to make it happen. Not even gonna chance
he's gonna do it straight in a void warp. He's gonna do a void. Oh, he's gonna. He tried it. Yeah.
Nice try from Baker. Honestly, that's a little awkward and respectable to not go for the 8% chance, because there is a chance that he just falls into the falls in voids and not void warp. But getting a very quick cleanup on that on that void warp. I'm sorry. Let's see. I don't know if Seceon is doing void warp now in the tournament, but it'd be interesting to see what Seceon does here. Yeah, cool cape pattern on that one, by the way. I wasn't the one to bring it up initially. I heard that Pripsy brought it up, but the cape that Ganon has in this cutscene is actually random. So it's always cool to look at the pattern of it and see what the difference is each run. Yeah, good job from Baker so far. Really, let's hope for
oh wait,
RNG as well.
It's Baker.
What?
It's Baker. Look.
Oh, there it is. This is Baker 8 years ago. Wow. He would have been my age then, dude. What? Or like roughly my age. What the heck?
Are people gonna think that that's live? That Baker is just staring,
yeah,
not moving
probably.
at all while playing? Like, all right. Well, Seceon going for Void Warp here. This match isn't quite over. Baker is a good Goma player, so or not Goma, sorry, Ganon, a good player, Ganon. So it's a little bit not looking great for Seceon. Needs to hold ESS left here, but I don't
too
think
far in the rock, I think.
Anyway.
Yeah. Ooh, a good backup, but might still be too far into this rock as well. No, it's looking like it's gonna be fine.
No,
oh,
it's too far.
Too far. Yeah, taking damage there too. Gonna have to drink bugs. Hopefully Seceon learned how to drink bugs. Didn't learn how to drink bugs. Unfortunately, gonna have to walk down the tower.
Too bad for Seceon. Sort of the only chance there. Although, I mean, if Baker somehow runs into issues at Ganon, Seceon going down the tower here may not be a terrible choice. It's kind of the only thing that can happen here.
Yeah, I guess something worth mentioning, because I mentioned it before, but it looks like we have a little bit of a new crowd today. Something that is interesting about the way that this game is written in Japanese is that the way that Zelda refers to herself in the context of writing like me or my watashi in Japanese is actually different depending on her age. So as a child, she writes it in the hiragana alphabet, and as an adult, she writes it as kanji, which is a very nice attention to detail from the developers. I mean, I think that's really cool. I don't know. I don't know how many people care about Japanese in the chat, but I always found that really interesting whenever I found that out. You can tell in the Zelda's Letter cutscene that she writes it differently in the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. So really, really cool to see how they like matured the character over the course of time. And Baker finishing out Ganon, I mean, really, yeah, small details like that are really, really cool.
Baker about to put the final slash on Ganon here. With a 16-26. That's the second best run of this tournament, I believe.
Yeah, I think Torch had a 16-20.
I believe it was a 19.
16-19, yeah, that's right. 19-19? Okay,
no.
Dan doesn't know how to type.
Alright, well, Baker will take this match. And Baker will face Chromie in the semifinals. And that will conclude the round 1 of this bracket stage of the tournament.
Very true. Did we, I guess, yeah, we did that earlier today against Starker. So how did this end up turning out?
Darker won the first match and Chromie won the last 2.
So
Darker had a lot of issues
what happened
with
last night,
Wrong
though?
Last night was Torj and Kadrin, right?
Yeah, and then
Habel and Zero.
Habel and Zero. How did that turn out between Habel and Zero?
Yeah, Zero played very consistently. Habel had a lot of issues with Wrong Warp. Habel like switched from the console or the emulator she was playing on to N64 and had like sort of some issues with like how it displayed on her CRT, and that may have factored into the way she played. So it was interesting. But Zero played really well to advance.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've seen runners. Oh yeah, Zero's PC crashed in the first race, and they dropped the first race because of that, and then they won the next 2. So that was impressive.
Sorry. It seems like somebody is calling the Baker will win this tournament already. Baker definitely having some of the best times, but not the best times so far. And I mean, I know that Torj and Baker are very good friends, and they have quite a rivalry going on. So I think we gotta wait and see until we see that turn out. I mean, you know, anything can happen within the next couple rounds, but yeah, I think we just gotta wait and see. Both runners are incredible when it comes to this game. So I wouldn't call anything yet.
The real question is, who's going to win the organizer race?
The organizer race? What, between... Oh, no! Seceon getting slashed in the backflip. You hate to see it.